Hello everyone. Today we are going to study about a topic which most of the children they have difficulty in. So the topic for today is transformation. Transformation means to change. Change what? Changing either the sentences from one form to another, that is from simple to compound, or from compound to complex, or from complex to simple, and from complex to compound. Or it can also mean changing the voice, that is from active to passive or from passive to active. Or it can mean narration, that is changing from direct speech to indirect speech or from indirect speech to direct speech. We also change the parts of speech, that is from noun to adjective, from adjective to adverb, from adverb to pronoun, from pronoun to preposition. All those things are taken up in this change, that is parts of speech. Then we also change the sentences, that is the types of sentences, that is from assertive to affirmative, from affirmative to negative, from negative to interrogative, from interrogative to optative, from optative to exclamatory. So we are going to study about all these changes one after the other. So first in this video we will take up how to change the sentences from one form to another. So I have written two sentences. Ram was ill, Ram was absent. So you can see that the subject in both the sentences are same, that is Ram. So first we will join the two sentences, that is we will use the method of synthesis. Synthesis is joining the sentences. So instead of writing the subject again and again, we can just omit the subject, that is Ram, and we can form a new sentence, that is only one sentence. So first we will form a simple sentence. So let's focus on the first sentence, that is Ram was ill. So Ram is the subject of the sentence and was is the auxiliary. There is no main verb. There is only one helping verb, that is was. So this is the be form of the verb. So in order to make it a participle, as we know that the non-finites, they do not act as verbs. They do the function of some other part of speech. So this be form of verb, we will change it into a participle, that is be plus ing, because present participle is v1 plus ing. So we will write being. So who is ill? Ram. So we will write being ill, comma, Ram was absent. Now in this sentence, being is not the verb as it is the present participle, that is the non-finite verb. And Ram is the subject in the second part, and was is the only auxiliary or the verb which is there in the entire sentence. So as there is, the above sentence is simple. How do we identify that it's simple? Because in the entire sentence there is only one verb, and that is was. That is the helping verb, and there is no other verb. So it is a simple sentence. So if you have one verb in a sentence, then you can identify that sentence as a simple sentence. In the previous sentence, we had made a simple sentence and we had converted the be form of the verb, that is was, into be plus ing and made it a participle, and we had made the sentence being ill, comma, Ram was absent. Now the same sentence can be changed into a compound sentence. Now for making compound sentences, we need to follow the acronym, that is fanboys. Now for fanboys, the F stands for the word for, A and, N neither nor, B but, O or, Y yet, and S so. So if we use any of these, then we are able to get a compound sentence. So we have to see that why Ram was absent. So the cause for his absence was his illness. So in order to show the cause or the reason, we can use so and the word for. These two words help you to give you the reason. So Ram was ill, so he was absent. Now you can see that in the first part, if I use a full stop here, then the entire part makes sense. It is a complete sentence because the subject is there, the verb is there. So it makes complete sense. Now if I move on to the next part, then this also makes complete sense because the subject he, that is the pronoun, is there and the verb is there. So there are two sentences and they have equal footing, that is they can stand alone, and they have been joined by a coordinating conjunction. So this coordinating conjunction helps us to get a compound sentence. Now if we want to use the other fanboy, that is the word for, which will also show you the reason, then we need to swap the places. That is, in order to use the word for, this part should come first. So I cannot write he was absent. So for that we need to know who is the subject. The subject is Ram. So we need to write Ram was absent for he was ill. So for is also a coordinating conjunction which is giving you a compound sentence. Now if I put a full stop here, the entire part makes complete sense. Similarly, if I put a full stop here, then also this part makes complete sense, and the two parts have been joined by a coordinating conjunction, that is for. So the above these two sentences are compound sentences because they have been joined by coordinating conjunctions, and whenever you use a coordinating conjunction, you get two sentences which can stand alone. So the formula, if you keep in mind, that is 1 is equal to 1. 1 is equal to 1 means this one is equivalent to the other one, or the other one is equivalent to the first one. They are not dependent on each other for their meaning. We have already learned how to make a simple sentence. See the first one, being ill, comma, Ram was absent. And we have made a compound sentence as well. That is, Ram was ill, so he was absent. Or Ram was absent, for he was ill. Now it is the turn to understand how we make a complex sentence. Just as the compound sentences are made with the help of coordinating conjunctions, in the same way, the complex sentences are made with the help of subordinating conjunctions. Like because, as, since, they all give you the reason. So if we use any of these, we will get the reason for Ram's absence. So we can write that Ram was absent because he was ill. Now if we look at this sentence, if we put a full stop here, then we get a complete sense of the sentence. Means this part makes complete sense. But if we look at the second part, then the subordinating conjunction will also follow the second part. It will be a part of the second part. So if I just ignore the first part and focus on the second part, and if I say because he was ill and I do not say anything about the first part, it does not make sense. So it is incomplete. That means that it is the subordinating clause. Means, why is it a clause? Because there is a subject, there is a verb. A clause will always have a subject and a verb. And this part is dependent on this part for its meaning. That is why this part is the main clause and this part is the subordinating clause. That is the reason it is a complex sentence. Now look at the second one. Ram was absent as he was ill, or Ram was absent since he was ill. Both these are subordinating conjunctions and they are used for giving reasons. So these two are giving the reasons for his absence. So if I put a full stop here, so this part will be the main clause, that is Ram was absent. But the second part, that is as he was ill or since he was ill, this is the subordinating clause. Again, why it is the clause? Because the subject, that is the pronoun, is there and the verb is there. So it is a clause. But what type of a clause? A subordinating clause, which means it is a dependent clause. It is dependent on the first part for its meaning. So it is a complex sentence. Now one thing which we need to keep in mind is, when we use as and since in between, then there is no need to use a comma. But if you are beginning the sentences with these subordinating conjunctions like as and since, like if you say as Ram was ill, then you need to put a comma here in order to separate the two parts, and then you will write the second part, that is he was absent. Since Ram was ill, comma, he was absent.